Today we are on the line with no other than David Koohy, who is an enrolled agent and the CEO of Coastal Financial Group and Island Tax Services. Today, David is going to be talking about extension time and lowering your tax liability. Some great and timely information. Welcome back to the show, David.
Well, thank you for having me back again, Emilio. I appreciate being here.
You're very, very welcome.
If you have not yet filed your tax return, or you're just one of those people who just wait till the last minute, a recommendation, either get in and see your accountant really, really soon, and I do mean within the next 5 to 10 days, or get a hold of your accountant and put in an extension. Now, even though we have until the 18th of April this year, because Patriots Day, plays a factor, because the 15th of April falls on a Saturday, Sunday, the 16th, Patriots Day, the 17th, so the actual filing time is now the 18th of April, so it does give you an extra 3 days for those of us out there who like to procrastinate.
That's great.
If you do have that extension, please put that extension in. If you feel you're not going to have the time to get, in to see your accountant and get all your paperwork done. The extension is normally a 6-month extension, so it gives you up until October 15th to get your taxes done. Now, a lot of us accountants, we sit around all summer long waiting for things to happen. So, yes, if you don't have the time, please use this in June, July, and August, because I feel like the Maytag repairman, all alone during those months.
Where do you get this stuff from?
For those of you out there who know that you're going to owe, and you figure, okay, I'm not filing because I am going to owe, I hate to put some bad news on you. You do file an extension. Now, most extensions do not cost you any money, and what that does, that allows you the privilege of filing late. However, if you owe $100, $200, $300, $5,000, $10,000, that money is due as of April 18th this year. So you might put a 6-month extension. That doesn't give you a 6-month extension to pay. That gives you a 6-month extension to file.
Question.
Shoot.
Okay, so first off, if you haven't completely filed everything, how do you know how much to pay?
Well, 9 out of 10 times, and you know who you are. You have an estimate or approximation of what you owe.
Okay.
Okay. Now, and again, some people, well, gee, Dave, I don't have. I'm going to throw out a random number. I don't have $5,000 right now to pay the IRS. Okay, fine. You put an extension in with $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever you can, scrape together and send in. This will lessen your tax liability, number one. Number two, it shows good faith to the IRS that you're attempting to pay some type of, payment. And number three, believe it or not, it'll actually lower the potential interest that you might end up being charged when you finally do end up filing your tax return.
Sure. Absolutely. What does that interest look like, by the way? What do they whack you with?
Well, actually, the IRS is much more generous than our lovely state of Rhode Island here. The IRS is usually around like 4 to 6%.
Okay.
State of Rhode Island is a flat 18.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's almost near usury.
Yeah, well, we are talking the lovely state of Rhode Island where, yes, we look for every dollar we can. The IRS is a little bit more lenient, and like I said, anywhere between 4 to 6% on average is what they're going to charge you for an outstanding balance.
Okay.
So that's why I often tell a lot of my clients who owe, Dave, say they might have filed now and they still owe taxes. Dave, I don't have $2,000 or $5,000 to send the IRS. Send them whatever you can, and then set up installment payments or something along those lines where eventually it does get paid down or paid off.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing you want is the IRS putting a lien on you. And when the IRS does, or the state of Rhode Island, it doesn't matter, either one, ladies and gentlemen, the state of Rhode Island will actually suspend your driver's license, will suspend your, believe it or not, contractor's license, will suspend your real estate license. If you need a license to do what you do, the state of Rhode Island can actually put a lien on that license, so you cannot renew it until you pay your outstanding balance.
Extortion.
The federal government will actually, they'll come in and they'll put a lien on, say, your checking account, savings account, your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's only if you stick your head in the sand and pretend nothing's going to happen. So that's why I often tell people, let's get it filed. I mean, the key thing is filing first. Get it filed or get an extension in, and you might owe the money, but set up a payment plan where you can send them $1,000 a month or $500 a month, or even $100 a month. And they'll actually, the federal government will actually work with you to pay off your outstanding balance. Keep in mind, you earn the money, now you got to pay the taxes. This is America. Welcome to the greatest country in the world.
It is, without a doubt. But, you got to pay to play. You got to pay to live.
That's
And,
right.
I agree with our fair share of taxes. There's nothing wrong with that. I do, off a side note, and really it doesn't matter what I think, but I think that we are far overtaxed. And hopefully they'll be able to figure out some ways to lessen our tax burden as Americans. I mean, literally, I think, what is it? 1/3 of all of our money is taken by the government, or is it more? Is it half? Is it?
Well, there was a study out, and it was a few years ago, and what I've often joked with people about is about mid-May, all the money that you earned from January to like May went to the government. The rest of the year then is yours, if you were to look at it from that point of view. And we get that every now and we get those, quirky little things from time to time. But, you figure from January 1st to about May 15th or so, all the money that you earn in that time actually goes to pay taxes and support the government. The rest of the money is yours. So not for nothing, more than half the year, it is your money. I mean, that's yours to keep. But, who wants to work for 5 months and don't get paid for it?
Wow. I mean, that's just totally insane, but it's true. So I think so one of the best, and totally, again, a side note, if you're self-employed or if you're running a business, that's the secret of the rich. That's what the rich do. They own real estate, they own businesses, and they're able to take write-offs with different things legally and ethically that you can't get when working a 9 to 5. Okay,
that's correct.
So it allows you to basically spend before you're taxed instead of the way the poor and the middle class do it, and basically the way the poor and the middle class will do it is they spend after they're taxed.
Right.
So it's pretty crazy, and by no means do I consider myself rich or anywhere near even close to it. I'm aspiring to do it, and that's why I'm self-employed and owning real estate. So,
well, as I was once told back in the early 1900s, 90% of the Americans own their own business, 10% of people work for them. It is now 100 years later, and believe it or not, 90% of us work for the other 10% who own their own businesses.
Wow.
So, that one is actually, you can go look that one up, and that's actually true. So, it's not bad. But you are right. Being self-employed is, again, being your own boss, ladies and gentlemen, out there is being great. However, it does come with responsibilities, and please keep in mind that the money you make, not all of it is really all yours, because the government still wants a piece of it.
Of course. Now, you were talking about how to lessen your tax burden, and we've got about 2 minutes left. How can somebody lessen their tax burden around now, before they file for an extension or before they get it?
Very simply. What you want to do, you want to fund or open up or establish or get put into your personal IRA, individual retirement account. If you're self-employed, a SEP program, something along those lines, or a 401k, a solo 401k, you can actually put money, hide money away, and I do mean the word hide money away, in an IRA for yourself or a 401k that then gets deferred until you reach 59 and a half or 60 years old or 65 when you start taking it out. But yes, you can actually minimize a portion of your tax liability by funding your own IRA. Ladies and gentlemen, this is set up for you to be able to defer a lot of the tax liability that you may incur, and the government's actually helping you support yourself, which is what we like to try to be, and not be so reliant on, say, Social Security or whatever else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly, like I said, for those of us who are self-employed out there, you're not limited to the IRA contributions amounts, which range anywhere from $5,000 to $6,500. In some cases, you can put up to 25% of your gross income into an IRA, into a SEP program or 401k, and defer a lot of those tax dollars that you may incur. Keep in mind, I'd rather pay myself than the government any day.
Me too, absolutely, because I know I'm going to spend my money wisely.
Well, you're going to spend it better than what the government's going to spend it on, that's for sure.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, one other thing I want to throw out there about a SEP IRA is you can actually leverage a SEP IRA, and you can purchase real estate through your SEP IRA. Now, I know some people that are doing this in a big way, and I think that's like, wow, what a phenomenal investment vehicle.
You've got to be careful when doing that. There are a few lines that you do not want to cross, because please keep in mind, if you're going to be doing things like leveraging that SEP IRA, except for you, keep in mind it is a tax-sheltered unit. So the minute that you now make it exposed to a possible loss in the market, now it becomes income. and then they will tax you on what you've got leveraged. So please, Amelia was right. You can do stuff like that, but please be careful and make sure that you have all your I's dotted and T's crossed when you do something along those lines.
Absolutely. And, if you want some professional advice on any of the items that we spoke about or anything that would fall under the financial realm, please see the top dog specialist, David Koohy. And David's been working in Rhode Island. God, how long have you been in the business, David?
Oh, over 20-plus years.
20-plus years. Okay, this is the guy that I trust with my taxes. This is the guy that my family goes to, my friends, my team. Everybody goes to him. It's David Koohy with Island Tax Services, and you can get his information easily by going to theroundtableradio.com and going to the expert contributor section.